Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and hello if you're new. Make sure that you subscribe before you leave, that way you'll never miss out on another video. In today's video, we're going to be doing a pick a card reading, and this is going to be for January 2020. It's the beginning of a new decade, and let's just see what energies are coming in, what we're releasing, basically what January is going to look like for us. So what I'm going to need you guys to do is pick a card group. Group number 1, group number 2, group number 3, or group number 4. Whichever one pulls you in, whichever one you look at and you just feel a certain energy within yourself. That's how you know which group to pick. Also, I have a bunch of new things up in my Etsy store. If you guys are interested in taking a look, I'll leave the link down below. And with that being said, let's get started. Okay, for all my group 2 people, let's go ahead and start your reading. This looks like a really intense one. It looks intense. Okay, let's just get right into it. All right, group number 2. The first card that comes up is a wave of power, a surge of power, uprising in energy, accelerating movement. Okay, so in January 2020, what I see for you guys, group 2, is fast movement, which means you're going to be busy. You are going to be busy. Projects are going to come up. And I feel like these are projects that maybe you've been waiting for a while. Or it's just, I'm sorry, my phone has been going off. Okay, so yeah, do you guys see, like, nothing in my readings I take as a coincidence. Everything is a sign from the universe. You see how my phone just went off as I'm talking about you guys being busy? Like, this is gonna happen. Like, you guys are going to kind of feel like you don't even have time for yourself because you're going to be so busy, and you have to be careful in January 2020, you're gonna have to be careful because you're gonna have so much things on your plate, but these are things that you've been wanting. So I feel like a lot of things, a lot of seeds you've planted, a lot of things you've been wanting to manifest, these are going to come through in January. These are going to manifest. And here's the thing, you have to be very, very careful because it's this kind of a feeling like you've been trying to manifest $1 million, right? And all of a sudden, bam, the $1 million is in your hands. Now, did you prepare yourself for what you're going to do with that $1 million? What, like, taxes are going to be taken out? What, like, your mentality is going to change. The way you dress is going to change. The way your posture, like, everything about you changes because, come on, let's face it, like, you receive what you manifested. It's this sense of relief because all this time you've been wanting that thing, that person, that money, that job, whatever it is. All of a sudden you have manifested it. And a lot of the times, here's another thing that happens. There's an excitement, right? There's a yearning, there's a longing for this, whatever you're trying to manifest. And then when you get it, it's like, okay, I have it. Like, now what? You know? And so in January, just expect a lot of your manifestations to come through. And another thing to expect is that you're just going to be like, okay, what's next? I experienced this. Now what's next? Another thing that I see is the number 9, caution, secrecy, wary, the magic of the Kohelan Druid. So another thing I see, 9 is the number of endings. So something that is going to be ending is your mistrust of people. I feel like there was people in your life that you did not trust. You could not trust. Like, maybe they broke your trust before, or maybe you just, it's an issue that you have within yourself because of some experiences you went through in your past that doesn't allow you to fully trust people. And I feel like that was a huge block. It was coming in the way of so many of your relationships. Not even just relationships, but a lot of your projects too. Maybe like you didn't trust enough to invest in something. But in January 2020, I see that ending. Like, your trust is going to go up. There's going to be a shift in your mindset when it comes to trusting people, trusting investments you want to make, trusting in risks you want to take. So expect your trust level to go up, because you're no longer going to be so cautious. You're no longer going to be so wary that people are keeping secrets from you. Because I feel like you're going to heal. In January, you're going to feel that healing of trust issues that you kind of have been holding on to for a while. And because you've been holding on to that is anger and chains. Anger and chains. I feel like there's a lot of grudges that you were holding, a lot of resentment. Maybe somebody did something to you and you never were able to forgive them, even though you said you did. Maybe you thought you did, but you really didn't. Maybe, somebody really broke your trust and that person is still in your life. Maybe you have tried to heal from it. Maybe you have tried to do everything you can, and something came up, maybe something triggered, and everything came back up, and now it's like this big old mess of they didn't even really do anything wrong. But because your emotions were triggered, because you didn't completely heal from it, you feel that anger and that resentment again. You were triggered, But in January, I really, really see you guys healing. Cleansing waters. I really see you guys healing from that thing. The Thunderbolt is the Tower card in tarot, which is the card where your whole world turned upside down. So whatever this thing is that you were really, really holding on to that messed up your trust of people, of things, of money, whatever it was, I really see you healing from that. Something turned your world upside down. Something that you thought you healed from. But it came up. And I feel like it came up during the ending of 2019. And in the year 2020, in January, expect purification. Expect healing and cleansing to happen that is going to activate your life force. So I really see you gaining that healing that you always really wanted, because I feel like you don't want to lose this person or this opportunity, this whatever it is. You don't really want to lose it, but you won't admit it. That's another thing I see for you guys. Group number 2. You deny a lot of the things you want because maybe you think that if you want these things, you'll get hurt. Or if you want these things, it's somehow wrong or somehow dangerous, or when I say dangerous, I mean like you want to love, but you're so afraid of being hurt that you feel like love is danger. I feel like whatever happened to you guys, it really, really traumatized you in a way where it was something that was not that, I don't want to say that big of a deal, but it was definitely something that, you could move past, you could move on from, but something inside of you didn't let you move fully forward, didn't let you fully, completely heal. And the feelings came up and, it got triggered towards the end of 2019, but come January, I feel like it came up so that it could leave. It came up because it's on its way out, and you're going to feel a lot of movement. It's going to be high energy of just moving forward. Okay, you know what? That happened, whatever. Leave it in the past. And you're actually going to leave it in the past. If there is a relationship, a business opportunity, anything that you wanted to keep in your life, despite what happened, I feel like you're going to be able to forgive and be able to heal and get the closure you need to keep that thing, that person in your life in a healthy manner. It's a huge thing of forgiveness and moving forward fast, really fast. Follow your bliss and surrender to silence. So in quiet meditation or contemplation, let go and enter the stillness within. Silence can heal and replenish you. So I feel like, you're going to be spending a lot of time in your mind, working through a lot of things, and it's going to happen fast and quick. And the healing's going to come fast and quick. And here's the reason why. I feel like because you've already done so much of the healing work, so much of the cleansing, the purification work, that you built that momentum of energy but still you were holding on. You were holding on to that mistrust, that wariness, that caution energy, you know? That's the ego. That's the ego constantly telling you, hey, you need to be careful. Hey, don't trust. Hey, you're going to get hurt. And in 2020, you're going to shut that ego's voice down, and you're going to surrender to the silence of your own intuition, of your own voice. You're no longer going to be controlled by your ego, but I feel like you're going to be living from a more intuitive place where you're going to trust in your intuition. Purple is the color of a crown chakra. Crown chakra activates your spirit, your higher self, your spirit, your connection with God, with the universe. So you're going to be living from a place where it's going to be more spiritual than more driven by your ego. Another thing I see is in January, you're going to start to get a urge, a tickle to go traveling. I feel like that thought is gonna implant itself in your mind, and there's a specific place that you have been wanting to travel to. Now, I don't see you traveling there in January, but I see you planning it. So either you're going to book the hotel, you're going to book the Airbnb, you're going to book the flight, you're going to take the days off work. Some kind of step is going to be taken in January for this place that you have been wanting to go to. So that's really exciting too. I hope you guys enjoyed this reading and it gave you a little bit of clarity and guidance for January. And thank you guys so much for watching. For all of my group 3 people, let's go ahead and see what January 2020 looks like for you guys. Okay, so the first card that I see is Divine Sensuality, making love and erotica. Okay, we're gonna, before I get into this, I want to kind of go through all the cards because it is creating a pattern, a very beautiful pattern. And I feel like this is a long time coming for you guys. Group number 3, this is very, very important for you guys. And in 2020, especially in January, like this is a beautiful energy of the self, of knowing thyself. The next card is yearning, longing for someone, undesired separation, pining. The next card is the Temple of My Body. Something I want you guys to pay attention to is the number 2. You got the number 2 3 times. So we have 2 and we have 22. The number 2 in numerology is the number of coming together, partnerships, connections, just connecting, coming together, communication, relationships. In January 2020, I see you guys exploring your sexuality. And what I mean is that you're really going to tap into your confidence, how you feel about yourself when you look at yourself in the mirror. And I feel like you have been so hard on yourself. And another thing I see is that your perception of sex and sexuality has been very, very, very heavily influenced all your life. People have told you what sex is supposed to be. Maybe your parents have taught you that it's such a bad thing unless you're married. Like there's so many misconceptions about sex out there. A lot of things we've been taught, with religions and with our parents especially. And then you get into high school, you get into your first few relationships, and then you try to explore your sexuality, and it's awkward, and it's just sometimes it's a mess. And I feel like a lot of the sexual experiences you guys have had were not positive. So here's another thing is when you are confident in yourself, it's automatic sexiness, like automatic. If you're confident in who you are and what you look like, you could walk into a room, not make one single noise, and everybody in the room will turn around and look at you. That is the power of confidence in who you are and what you look like. And I feel like you're going to tap into that in January. You're going to tap into your beauty. You're going to look at yourself in the mirror and your perception of who you are is going to change because you're going to like what you see. I feel like you've been really, really hard on yourself. A lot of you guys maybe don't even try to avoid looking at yourself in the mirror. And here's the thing. When you do that, you're literally sending out a signal into the universe that, hey, I'm not pretty enough. I'm not worth love. I don't look good as that person. I don't look like this. That means I'm not worth this. I don't look like this, so I can't attract a person like this. These kinds of thoughts, I feel like, were very heavily dominant in your mind. And in the year 2020, in January, these things are going to change. This partnership energy, this connection energy of two, it's with yourself. I feel like you're going to be coming together with yourself and your own spirit and your own soul. You're going to embrace your body for everything that's on it, for everything that it is, for everything that it looks like. You're going to embrace it and love it. And there's a lot of self-love that I see coming in January for you guys. And because of that, this longing for someone is going to end. Like you created this energy within yourself that you weren't worthy and you didn't deserve love. And I feel like it reflected back to you in your life. If you guys are in relationships, I feel like you guys experienced this, whatever you felt about yourself, your partner kind of started to mimic that, with you. So like, say you felt like you weren't good enough. If you send that energy out enough, people will start treating you like you really are not good enough. You will attract those experiences into your life. And I feel like in January of 2020, your perception of yourself is going to change. You're going to think of yourself in a very high manner because this self-love is going to cultivate within you. And because of that, you're going to see a change in your relationships. And if you guys are single, expect to see a lot more people interested in you because of this energy shift that's going to be happening. You're going to come out of your comfort zone. I see you guys maybe wearing a new type of style, maybe adopting a new style that is more, feels more comfortable to you, wearing more bold colors maybe, but definitely something you're going to try that is outside of your comfort zone. Maybe something sexually you might try, maybe a new position, I don't know, but something outside of your comfort zone because you're ready to explore. You're ready to explore your body. You're ready to explore your sexuality, even if you're in a relationship or you're not. If you are, then I feel like maybe a new communication is going to open up with your partner where you guys are going to be wanting to try just something new. The both of you wanting to try something a little bit more fun, maybe role playing, maybe dressing up or something, but I definitely see a lot of sexual energy, but exciting sexual energy, which is going to open doors for a lot of healing for you. Another thing I see is surrender stubbornness. So if you're tensing up or taking a rigid stance about something, gently observe yourself and become more yielding. This will help you communicate more lovingly with yourself and others. So I see that whatever was going on with you and your sexuality and your perception of yourself, your body, your face, your hair, your nose, everything, it was projected outside of you and you were starting to attract experiences of what you believed about yourself. You were starting to attract that from your life. Your reality was starting to become like that. And it made you rigid. It made you tense, because when you feel that way, when you feel like not worthy, and then that feeling starts becoming confirmed in your life, in your reality, because you built up that energy so strongly. Remember, the universe has no choice but to match your own energy. So I feel like you were starting to match your own energy in your physical reality, and it made you resentful and stubborn and tense and rigid and just not happy. And what I see is the crumbling of that belief system that you had. And it says, what are you clinging on to? This is the Tower card in tarot. And when you get the Tower card, it's like your whole perception about something changes. It's a card that says your life turned upside down because the universe wanted to change your perception. So I feel like something did definitely happen that made you so closed off to your own beauty, to your own self-worth, to your own sexuality. But in 2020 January, you're getting all of your confidence back. You're getting your sexuality back, your sensuality back. You're getting your confidence back. And it's because whatever you were clinging onto that was blocking you from that, you're leaving. It's leaving. And I also see something like a piercing, maybe a new piercing you're going to get or a tattoo you're going to get. But definitely something where you're just going to be like, you know what? I'm owning my body. This is me. You might even get like some sexy lingerie, like something definitely you're going to put on your body that is going to make you feel out of the world, you know? Another thing I see is because of this crumbling of that stuff that you were holding on to that was preventing you from really loving yourself, you're going to go with the flow now. Now you're going to be a lot more relaxed. No more stubborn energy. No more of that tense energy. No more resentment. Because your physical reality now is going to start to match what you're feeling inwards, which is all of that self-love. It's January 2020 is going to be a time of celebration. You are going to be celebrating yourself, your looks, your personality, everything you have overcome and been through. I feel like it's a really heavy time of celebration of you and your sexuality, just everything. You're just going to celebrate yourself. And I feel like maybe you've never done that. Like you have never celebrated yourself just for the mere hell of it. Just because you deserve it. To celebrate yourself out of nowhere, any given time, any moment. Just like, hey, I am me and I'm going to celebrate and like, let's drink to that or let's party to that or, you know, let's go get a massage just because I am me and I deserve it. And I feel like you're just going to find things to do and give yourself that you're not going to want to, I feel like when you treat yourself, when you treated yourself before, you would always look for an excuse to treat yourself. You know, like, oh, it's my birthday, so I can do this. Like I'm justified to splurge because it's my birthday. But in January 2020, I feel like there's no more justifications needed. There's no more excuses needed. You're going to be like, hey, I want this. Hey, I want to get that. Hey, I want to do this. I want to try that. I want to explore that. And you're going to be like, no excuses, no justification needed. I love myself. I deserve it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to give myself this. So that is the energy that is coming in January. I'm really excited for you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. For all my group 4 people, let's go ahead and see what 2020 January is bringing for you guys. The first card that I see is Coral's Wisdom. This is a card talking all about delicacy, fragility, works that are created over great periods of time. This is very, very interesting that it came right next to Lemuria Returns, Earthly Spirituality Community. Okay, so here we see a mermaid that is pregnant. And she is protecting her body and herself and her baby. The next card that comes up is this lady that is protecting her body, but she is protecting it with black flowers, okay? There's a lot that's going on here. So in January 2020, I see a lot of you guys, here's the thing. It's like double-sided. I see you guys protecting and nurturing your body. I feel like I feel like you guys should definitely check out group number 3's reading because it has a lot to do with your journey, plus more. So what I see is you connecting with your spirituality a lot more. I also see you guys connecting with your feminine energy a lot more. So in the group number 1 reading, those people are going to connect with their masculine energy in 2020 January. But you guys are going to be connecting with your feminine. And here's a huge thing that I see is a transformation in the way that you perceive your life. And here's why. Because I feel like you guys have been living in your masculine energy for a really long time. Whether you are male or female, you have both feminine and masculine energies within you. Now, if you're way too much in your feminine, you're very soft, you're too kind, you're too gentle, and people can walk right all over you. People can take advantage of you. You have a hard time saying no. That's if you're way too much in your feminine aspect. If you're way too much in your masculine aspect, you're very, very protective. You're very work-oriented, fiery, feisty, aggressive. You get irritated easily. You want to protect. You want to provide. You want to make sure everything is handled. Everything is good. Everything is taken care of. You take that masculine energy to the max, you know? And it's hard for you to be delicate and soft and gentle and listen. And in January 2020, what I see for you guys is you connecting with your feminine energy a lot more. I see you guys not being so rigid and not being so hard, not having to prove to people that you're okay, that you have everything handled, that everything is taken care of, you know? And another thing I see is you just softening up a lot more, becoming more relaxed, and you being able to listen. Now, here's another thing that I see for you guys. I feel like it was hard for you guys to listen. Everything you guys have been through, just, you know, even if somebody said the blunt truth right in front of you of how they're feeling and you really wanted to like listen, you wanted to communicate with people and they like told you what they're feeling, it was kind of hard for you to grasp it. It was kind of hard for you to understand and even listen, like even hear them. And that's because you were so much in your masculine energy that you like it was very hard for you to communicate. And in 2020 in January, I see you guys communication skills just like amplified. You guys are going to listen and hear things that people have been telling you, things that people have been trying to communicate with you for a long time. But in January, you're finally going to be able to hear and listen. And here's another exciting part of January. A lot of very deep and meaningful, enriching conversations are going to happen where people are going to just look at you and just be like, what happened? Like, how? I finally feel like I can communicate with you. And it's just going to be this very release type of energy, letting go. It's letting go of so much stubbornness and just it's a very heavy feeling that I'm getting from you guys that you just wanted everything taken care of, everything done, like everything had to be a certain way and you had to provide, you had to protect, you know, you had to be strong. You guys had to be strong. And in January, you can finally relax and take that breath and just let yourself relax. You don't have to constantly be on guard, you know? And here, that's another thing, the black flower fragrance is, you know, you were taking on more than you can handle and you thought that it was a good thing. You know, we gather up all these flowers and we think they're beautiful and then we look down and they're dried and black, you know, like I feel like that's what was happening is you were just lining up all your stuff and making sure everything was taken care of. You thought you were doing the right thing. You thought you were, you know, being responsible and stuff. And then finally, and now you're looking at everything you've gathered and it's like not what you wanted. And that's why I see you guys letting go of a lot. And there's transformations that's going to be happening. Things are changing at a cellular level. It's deep healing. So communication, a lot of beautiful connections with people that are already in your life are going to happen in January for you guys. Wondrous universe, walk in beauty. I feel like this is going to propel you into more of your spirituality. You're going to live more from your spirit than your ego. So I feel like, you know, your ego always tries to protect you and is like constantly screaming at you to do something this way and do something that way. This is the right way. Otherwise you'll get hurt. Otherwise you'll lose. Otherwise whatever, you'll fail. That's your ego, like constantly in your head. But in January, I see like cellular, like the atoms of your body are going to shift in a way that's so healing. And you're going to become a magician. The year 2020 for you is going to be very magical and beautiful. You're going to tap into a lot of manifestation energy. And I feel like you guys are really going to like think of something and then all of a sudden it's just going to manifest so easily for you guys because you're not going to be attached to results anymore. You're going to balance your feminine and masculine energy. And what happens when you balance both of these energies? Your chakras start to get activated. You know, your mental clarity happens, manifestations happen, synchronicities happen, happiness comes forth, walls break down. You know, you let your guard down, you trust more easily, blocks are removed. So you were so attached to your results and so attached to this has to be done, this has to be taken care of, blah, 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 that it was hectic and chaotic for you. But in 2020, expect relaxation. Expect yourself to relax and let go and heal and just really tap into that magical spiritual energy that I think you've been looking for a really, really long time. So that was your guys' reading for group number 4. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys in my next video.